years after the war. And has anybody got a bob in his pocket? No. There ain't a bob in the crowd. Every blasted mother's son of you will sleep on a bench in this very park tonight. But where will the elegant lords and ladies sleep? I ask you.
Where would you sleep if you were a lord, my friend?
Me? Why, I'd sleep in a feather bed in the finest chamber of my summer palace.
An excellent idea, precisely what I should do.
Let's hear from the West End. Right out. A word from the King's messenger.
You are here because you have neglected your opportunities. Education and an appreciation of values would have kept you above all this. Go home. Go home and instill into your children an appreciation of the finer things of life. Give them the opportunity to rise above you for your trash. It's my privilege to call you what I like because I'm no better myself. Where I come from doesn't matter, and where I'm going to matters less. There is a reason. Perhaps it lies in limpid eyes. Or perhaps in the memory of shrieking shells and bleeding things. But here I am, myself and my friend. Let me introduce you to the genii of the bottle. To you, my friends, and to the king.
Hey! Make way for a sleepy man! What happened to him? His bottle got him. There you are, Mr. Swell. As downy a bed as you'll find in Buckingham Palace.
Hey, come on now, up with you.
What's that? Is there some reason why I should go along with you, my good woman?
There's no reason why you shouldn't.
Oh, there isn't. Who are you, if I may ask?
Are you going to stay here till a bobby comes along and whacks you in the bottom of the feet? Are you going to come along home? Well, there's a hooker of brandy waiting on you.
Well, now, that has a decent ring to it somehow. Especially on a quivering morning when a man's flesh is particularly weak. My arm, lady.
My name's Clarissa Phipps.
Miss or Mrs.?
My husband's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry. War?
No, plumbing. Somebody fetched him one with a piece of lead pipe. What's your name?
Courtney. Randolph Courtney. Captain Courtney, if you want to bother.
War.
Yes, war.
Here we are. Come in.
You run this place yourself?
Yes, I live in the back. It ain't much, but what I has is snug.
Yes. Yes, it's cozy. There's a feeling of home about it. You're a tidy woman, Mrs. Phipps.
You think you might like it here, Captain?
One could do a great deal worse, I'm sure. There was a mention of a finger or two of brandy, eh?
This place ain't bad as homes go. And a body but could earn a few quid a week. Could be some help to a man. If a man could be some help to her.
You are the traditional rose blooming on the waste heap, Mrs. Phipps. You came out of a grey morning. My appreciation, dear lady.
Last night in Hyde Park.
Oh, yes. I made some sort of a speech, didn't I?
You said the young'uns should be taught the fine things.
And so they should. Good brandy. Do you mind?
But a grown boy now, if he had the right upbringing, there ain't no reason why he shouldn't be a gentleman, is there?
But, what is your interest in young ones and their possibilities?
Hey, Mom. How about some scoffins, Mom?
Oh.
I see.
Richard, is that the way to come into a room? Don't you see there's a gentleman present? And it's breakfast you ask for and not scoffins.
Who are you? You're a tough, ain't you?
This is Captain Courtney, and he's a gentleman. And you ain't to use no such word as tough.
Hello. Where'd you come from?
Well, now.
It's bad manners to ask questions. And is that the way you get into your clothes? Look at you, with your knickers over your nightgown. Get up there and get dressed. Quick, hurry.
All right, Mum. Up now.
Richard. Come here. Let me hear you say, half a moment.
Half a moment.
Is that what the captain said? He said half. H-A-R-F. Half. No, Pop George, I'm no use.
Now listen, I just dropped in to tell you I've been thinking things over, and I might come up a trifle on the price. Now, how about £1,100 for the shop and property?
What did I say to you last offer, Popjoy?
Well, you know, 1,100 is 1,100.
A shop what's made me a good living for 20 years or more is a friend indeed. Am I want to turn my back on a friend? Good day, Popjoy.
Now, think it over. Mind, it's a good offer for a pig in a bag, Clarissa.
It's your Edwards in a bag if you think I'll ever sell this business, my corpulent friend.
Oh, indeed.
Clarissa, will you stop climbing up and down those steps? You're not an acrobat.
Oh, come now, Dr. Phillips, why don't you be nice and go home? It'll be you that'll be the death of me, with your nose and your downs.
Clarissa, must I tell you again that the nerves of your stomach
I like this.
and the shock or excitement of any kind...
And I'll be having acute indigestion.
If you have another such attack as you had 2 years ago...
I'll snuff out. I knows it by heart, Doctor.
Oh, well. Don't forget your pills.
Right.
Do you know, for years I've been looking forward to being 21. I thought it would be like awakening in a new world. But here I am, and I feel no different to yesterday.
But you are different, Richard. You're not like any of us on the Legbert Street. Like me, for instance. You're educated. No, I'm not. You know all about plays and good music and who painted this picture and that. No, I don't know anything.
Which doesn't alter one fact.
What?
That we're good friends and we like each other. So what else matters?
I hope nothing else matters.
What do you mean, Emily?
Oh, nothing. It's getting late. I suppose we ought to go.
Yes, Mum's expecting me early. This is the day of days, you know.
Then I'll see you.
Tomorrow night.
Well, good night, Richard.
Good night, Emily.
And Richard. Happy birthday.
Well, it was a lovely dinner, Mum. May I open this now?
One moment, Richard. You've achieved 21 honorably. Here's hoping the promise you showed as a youngster will be fulfilled in manhood.
Keep your head up, and remember, you're as good as the best of them.
Oh, you've been great to me, both of you.
Oh, no. We've only done what we're here to do.
What do you got there, Richard?
Bank book. £1,000? Why, Mum.
1,000?
That's what it says, don't it? It's yours. What about it?
It's credited to Richard Orland. My name's Phipps. I don't understand that.
Your name ain't Phipps.
My name's not... Oh, I'm Mum.
And I ain't your mother.
Oh, come now, old girl. You don't mean that.
That's what I said, didn't I? You're 21. I've kept my promise and done what I said I'd do. You're to leave here now. That was the agreement.
Agreement?
What agreement? What on earth are you talking about?
The money's yours. It was left to me by your mother to give to you when you came 21. You're to take it and find a place to live where you can be with your own kind.
My own kind? But who is my mother, and why should she leave me in your care?
She was a fine lady. She was an actress. A great actress.
Yes, but
And I ain't saying nothing more.
you say my name's Orland. Who's my father?
And maybe Orlin ain't your name exactly, but that's near enough.
The boy has a right to know whose blood flows in his veins, Clarissa.
No, I haven't. I don't care who they are. They didn't want me, now I don't want them. You've taken their place, you and the captain, so I'll stay here with you.
No, you won't stay here. My instructions was to pay you the money and to tell you to be off, and that's what I'm doing. You're to go away from Little Egbert Street. It has to be, Richard. It ain't always what we want to do. Maybe I've got kind of used to having you here, too. We don't like to give up them what's been close to us. But that's the way it has to be sometimes.
But
You've got to go, Richard. You've got to go because, well, the best for you too, Richard.
I don't want to go.
You will go. You'll go because it's the agreement. You'll go because I said you would. And I'm a woman of my word.
Why wouldn't you tell me more about my parents?
Probably because they're still living.
And they can't acknowledge me. Gives one an odd sort of feeling. Lonely, if you know what I mean.
Don't hold any bitterness towards them. After all, you don't know the true circumstances yet. An actress. I wonder... By Jove, I think I have it. Come along. I remember her telling me once that she'd worked for an actress before you were born. Personal maid, I think she said. Let's see now. I hope she doesn't slip back while we're... Here we are. Julia Trent, famous actress of 20-odd years ago.
I don't think I look at all like her.
I don't know, Richard. Let's read one of the letters. Clarissa worked for her. She knew she could trust Clarissa. Seems to add up to something, doesn't it? Let's see what she has to say here. No one will listen to me read Shakespeare, but no one ever would except you and Mr. Bentinck. The name Bentinck sounds familiar. By Jove, I have it. He was an explorer of sorts. Discovered some new lands in the Arctic or something.
Do you suppose that he...
wait a moment, Richard.
Oh, don't get alarmed. I shan't look him up.
It's not that. It's that Commodore Bentinck was lost on one of his trips. They never found him.
Oh.
You see, an awkward situation must have presented itself. Evidently, there was nothing else to do. Something of a tragedy. So you can understand why it will have to remain closed book.
Of course. Mrs. Julia Trent Anders.
Anders? She must have married.
11 John Square, Bloomsbury.
What now? Oh, what do you want?
Does Mrs. Smith live here? Mrs. Reginald Smith.
No, our name is Anders. We have practically everything but a Mrs. Smith, I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't care about Mrs. Smith. Not personally, I mean. I was told she lets rooms and I'm looking for somewhere to live. I suppose you don't let rooms by any chance, do you?
Oh, no, but I don't see why not. We have dozens of rooms and people are always staying in them, but they never pay. You'd want to pay, wouldn't you?
It's the customary thing, isn't it?
I wouldn't know. When would you want to do it?
Now. And only one, unless they come in groups.
Oh. Could you run to £4 a week?
Well, would that be reasonable or not?
We could ask someone. If it isn't, perhaps you could manage for meals, too. You couldn't pay in advance, could you?
Well, I have got £5 with me.
Oh, for goodness sakes, come on in out of the rain. Put them there. I suppose you're studying something and want to be near the museum.
Well, not studying, writing. I'm a playwright.
Are you? Why? London's thick with playwrights.
Yes, but there are playwrights and playwrights.
And playwrights, etc. Isn't that what I said?
Paul, please.
Julia, I lost patience.
What have I lost? Honor, distinction, riches?
You are not in the theater. And whatever is, my work is important. I must have peace and quiet.
If I mean...
And never anybody is paid. For 3 months they have not been paid.
3? Dear me, I'm sure it was for...
This man...
What becomes of the money I give you?
That's the very question I was asking, Pauline. Just the other day, wasn't I, dear? Where are you? Oh, will you call her, my dear boy? Oh, there you are. Tell your father, darling.
Tell him what?
What we were just discussing. What was it, Paul?
Who is this young man? Well,
Oh, I thought you were Leo.
It's a perfect stranger who wants to come and live with us.
Oh, does he insist on coming, dear?
He does, and he's willing to pay.
Oh.
In fact, he has paid.
I don't quite understand all this.
Oh, Father, dear, would you please go and pay the train?
Listen,
Yeah, go and pay them, Paul.
All right.
Things do adjust themselves, don't they?
But they seem to.
And I'm sure you will love it here, Mr... what is your name?
Well, my name's Orland. Richard Orland.
Oh, really? Ours is Anders. And now we must be businesslike. You really should see your room. Give him a nice one, dear, won't you? We want you to like it here.
Come along.
Oh, sorry. I think your mother's very sweet.
Julia? Adorable, but she isn't my mother.
Oh, but I gather...
Is it so amazing? Father married a second time.
Oh, Mrs. Anders has been in the theater, hasn't she?
Years ago. She appeared under the name of Julia Trapp.
I hope you don't think I'm too inquisitive.
You were right to know about us if you're going to live here. I mean, there isn't a lot to know except that we're a little mad and don't pay much attention to the rules. But we do have early dinners. And we have lovely parties.
Yes, I'd imagine.
We're having one tonight if you'd care to come.
I'd like to.
Consider yourself invited. Do you like the room?
Yes, very nice.
Then I suppose that's all, isn't it? Bye.
Bye and thanks. How much is that?
$1.90. Thanks.
Oh, I do.
Good evening, Mr. Varney. How are you?
All right. Oh, I'm told us how you'll be leaving Little Egbert Street.
I think so.
You've come into a sum of money, I hear. Now, will that be good news to little Emily Judson now or not?
Well, I don't know. I'm sure. I hope so. Excuse me.
Oh, how do you, Captain? Well, what next? That's all I've got to say.
If that's all, then I won't detain you.
Hello, Richard. Hello, Captain.
Well, Richard, have you found a place to live?
Yes, and something else.
What?
I don't want you to feel hurt. You didn't break your word. It was quite by chance that I found her.
Who are you talking about?
My mother. I found her.
You, oh.
You didn't tell her who you are.
No, and I don't intend to. I've taken a room in her house.
Oh. How did you find her?
Well, I'll take the blame for that, Clarissa. I remember that bundle of letters you'd saved.
You might be better off by minding your own business, Captain Courtney.
Unquestionably. But frankly, I thought it was only fair the boy should know.
And what do you know about what's fair and what ain't fair? You're not to tell her who you are.
I can't very well, under the circumstances, can I?
What happened when you met her?
Well, nothing. I met her and I liked her immediately. Not as much as I like you. I suppose that's because I've always been with you.
You'll get to like her better after a bit.
Of course, it is merely a matter of adjusting yourself.
It all seems so strange and unbelievable. It's like a chapter out of a book, isn't it?
Or a play?
Yesterday I was Richard Phipps. Today I... Say, it would make a play, wouldn't it? Boy, brought up in ignorance of his parentage, goes to live at his mother's house, finds a new world. It'd make a great play.
Then why don't you write it?
Oh, I say, Mr. Popjoy. Here, have you heard the news? Clarissa Phipps' son ain't her son. Never was.
Son, who says so?
He's going away.
Not away from London.
Why not? He's got enough money. Might take it into his head to go to China, who knows? All I hope is that you've had your understanding with him.
Oh, there hasn't been anything like that. We're only friends.
Well, he's been walking out with you, hasn't he? You know, £1,000 is a tidy sum, Emily.
I don't care about that. When is he going away?
This very day. So you better hurry if you've got anything to clear up with him.
Well, here we are.
Put your hat on.
Do you think I'll pass for one of them?
You are one of them.
I'll run out and get a cab.
Well, Mom, I'm ready to go.
You've got everything packed that you'll need? And don't call me Mum.
Oh, you don't mind, do you? Mom? Hello, having someone to dinner?
Just the captain and myself.
What?
Oh, I have set places for 3, haven't I? Both of it.
What are you having?
Warmed over beef.
And Yorkshire pudding?
Yes, I thought we might have some.
I suppose I'll have to get used to ah la this and oh gratin that. There'll be a lot of things I miss, won't there? I want to thank you for everything. It couldn't have been much fun raising someone else's child.
Oh, I was paid for it. Bringing you up was no trouble at all. Seeing as how you was a good boy, most of the time.
But part of the time I wasn't. Someday I want to make up for it.
Don't say that. You don't owe me nothing.
I owe you more than I can ever repay you. Look here, Mom, I got more than I really need. Won't you let me share it with you?
No. I won't have it. Someday, when you've wrote a big play, and then if you'd like to give me a little something, all right. How's that?
Yes, I suppose that will have to be all right. Oh. Goodbye. No crying, Mom.
Oh, come on. You want to say goodbye, Richard! Hold on and load the baggage way through that.
Oh, there he is. Come on, boys.
Come on, dear. What is it?
Nothing.
I don't suppose you want a valet, do you? Remember me to the Buckadookie. Hi. Where did you get your chopper?
Richard.
Emily.
I heard about everything. I'm glad for you.
I wanted to tell you. I didn't have a chance. I'll drop in at the shop tomorrow or the next day.
Oh, would you, Richard?
Of course I will. Goodbye, Mom. Goodbye, Captain, and thanks.
So long, Richard. Old boy.
You're an original of some sort, aren't you? Isn't it, dear?
I hope so.
Of course you are. You're not the least bit suave or charming. Oh, I despise charming boys.
Thank you, Lady Alexander.
When you're through with him, send him to me collect, will you, dear? Gladly. Dear boy. You came through there without a scratch.
Yes, I met everybody. I remember only one name.
Sir Elroy. Didn't you like the way I let him know you were a playwright?
It was very nice of you. Why did you bother?
I have to do nice things. I'm a nice girl, didn't you know?
I suspected it.
Liam, I was sure you wouldn't come.
Well, that's a good sign. Worried?
Suppose I were.
Let's get married.
Will you witness the answer, my friend?
Mr. Orland, Mr. Cartwright. A playwright, B producer.
See, a charming girl. I suppose you're my wealthy rival.
Not very wealthy, I'm afraid.
Well, I should think you were creaseless if you had as much as £2. By the way, have you?
I forbid you to lend them to him.
Oh, confound it, Pauline. Now, that's not funny. I might have made a strike then. We've got to have some money if we're going to get married. That reminds me, Albie.
If you excuse me, I have to go and help Julia.
Oh, hold on. I was proposing to you, Pauline.
Try it on father.
Oh, she always stops me with that one. I'll fix it. Let's find Anders. There he is. Come on. Hello, Lady Entwistle. Everything under control? Winterbottom. Thank you. Mr. Anders.
Yes?
I thought we might have a glass together. I brought one over for you.
Thank you.
To your lovely daughter. By the way, Mr. Anders, would you have any objections to her becoming my wife?
Yes. Would you like that I shall name them?
No, don't bother, please. Do you know Mr. Orland?
Why, yes,
Good evening, young man. Haven't you been here before?
Yes, I live here.
Oh, yes. Mr. Morland. I remember.
I was just about to tell Orland all about your great experiment. Mr. Anders is going to rid London of fog.
Oh, is such a thing possible?
Someday.
I've been trying to get him to put the thing up as a remedy, on the theory that more people get up in the fog than go to bed in one.
Bar.
Paul, I'm going to do my characterization now. And if you attempt to go to sleep, I vow I shall throw something at you.
But Julia, it's all so tiresome.
Well, of course, that's because you have no appreciation of art. Hello, Leo.
Julia?
Oh, it's you, isn't it, Mr.
Orland.
Oh, yes, of course. You know Mr. Anders.
Well, yeah.
How do you do, sir? Glad you dropped in this evening. Come again sometime.
You see? Thanks. Oh, I will.
Mr. Orland.
Excuse me.
Oh, goodbye, man. She's a little hard on the ears, but she's a good old soul.
She was the rage of London. Not the greatest actress that ever lived, of course, but such stage presence, such personality. Oh, where have you been, dear boy? Oh, sit close to me. Well, she's dying to return to the stage. You've simply got to do a play with her, Elroyd. I insist.
It's an idea. The public might warm up to the return of an old favorite. Yes, I'd consider doing it if I could find a suitable vehicle.
May I take that as a tip, sir, Elroyd?
Oh, you write, don't you?
Yes, certainly.
Well, if you have anything you think would fit her, I'd be glad to read it.
There! I've created an opportunity for you.
I think I'd better be jogging along, too.
Jogging along? Where?
Oh, someplace over the horizon.
You mean leave here?
Seems to be the next move, doesn't it? My job's finished. And I didn't do so badly with the boy, did I? A gentleman, as ordered.
You did all right. You earned your brandy.
I've had a happy glass or two. And I'm glad if we struck some sort of a balance.
You don't like it, do you?
The old place has its attractions.
Good brandy.
I could think of another, but... Oh, well, we won't go into that.
If you wanted to stay. If you wanted to stay now. You would be thinking of leaving now that you know that I'm alone. I ought to have some protection against burglars.
Good morning. Looking for someone?
Oh, good morning. I thought perhaps I might run into a housemaid or something.
She is no more. It's every man for himself. What do you want?
Oh, nothing. I dare say I can pick up a manual of some kind at a stationer's.
A manual of what?
On how to make a bed in 4 easy lessons. I've wrestled with it for days now, but I don't seem to have any luck.
Can't manage it?
No, I lay the covers on this way, and I lay them that way. And I toss them on. It makes no difference. They will stick out.
What?
My feet. You see, I prefer them covered.
Some prefer one in and one out.
You do?
I didn't say me. What are you laughing at?
Well, it makes rather a pretty picture. One little pink foot out and one tucked away. Here, where are you going?
Show you how to make a bed.
Well, it's in a pretty bad state. Perhaps I'd better tackle it myself.
Oh, be quiet. Is this the way you sleep?
No. That's the way I made it up.
Round the other side, please. Take hold of the sheet. You have to be clever to do things like this. Now the bottom. There, that's right. Now pull it up straight.
Simple enough, isn't it? Can you cook too?
No, only when I have to. That is when we lose a cook, which is every week. Now the top sheet. Well,
Oh, I'm sorry. It struck me that Leo might be very lucky.
then again, he might not be. Tuck it in.
Oh, it isn't Leo. I gathered that...
Oh, I'll probably end up by marrying him unless someone nicer comes along. Don't you think you better fix that top now?
Oh, did I do that?
You know, making a bed is mostly a matter of control of the reflexes. Leo's a dear, isn't he?
Yes, nice chap, but...
But what?
Well, I think you want to marry someone rather more substantial.
Like who?
Well, like somebody who does things or attempts to do them.
Fold the top down. Like someone who attempts what, for instance?
Well, anything. Oh, did I tell you I started my play?
Not really.
Got half the first act.
Good work. If you think you can do as well with a broom, I'll go downstairs and get you one. Take hold. What have you done with the watercolors?
Oh, there they are. I took them down. They gave me nightmares.
Thanks. I painted them.
What? I'm sorry, but I know nothing about modern art. My opinion doesn't matter.
I hope it doesn't.
I did like one, though. Look, I lifted it up, see?
That's the only one I didn't paint.
Richard's dropping in for dinner now and then has a decided effect on the menu.
Shouldn't he be here by now?
Well, it's probably delayed a bit by the fog.
How do you like where you are?
Oh, great. Everyone's nice. Julia's a good sort and Pauline's grand. She taught me how to make my bed this morning.
Who's Pauline, the maid?
Oh, no, she's Anna's daughter. She's young. About your age, I should say.
Is she pretty?
No, I shouldn't say she was pretty. Attractive, you know, lots of personality. Hold on, the fog's coming up. We better be moving.
But we can't get home now. It'll be thick before we've gone very far.
Well, we can take a cab.
Yes, sir?
3 at Lakewood Street.
Very good, sir.
You're going to Clarissa's?
For dinner. I'll drop you off at home first.
You know I haven't any.
But there's your aunt.
She wouldn't care if I never came back. I would not. Richard, do you have to go to Clarissa's? Can't we go somewhere?
But she's expecting me.
We could stop off at some place where we could have dinner. Just you and me.
Never mind about me. Never mind about me. Get the passengers out. Passengers out, will you? Somebody call an ambulance. Never mind. That's all right. Stand back here. Stand back. Stand back, please. All right, take it easy. All right. The bloke in the bottom will go. Does anybody send for an ambulance? Yes. Get the passengers out. Stand back, please. Stand back, sir. He feels pretty bad, Governor.
Why do you keep spoiling your appetite by nibbling on them things?
Because the boy within demands filling.
Oh, now, out with you. You know, I've been standing over an hot stove all day. And when the time comes to eat, all you'll be able to do is to sip brandy. There must be Richard now. I'd start the Yorkshire pudding.
Captain, Clarissa, is hurt.
Who's hurt?
Richard's been hurt.
Hurt? Ow. Where is he?
He's at St. Mark's.
Steady, old girl, be calm. Here, let me help you on with the coat. Got a cab, Emily?
It's waiting.
Keep your head, old girl. We'll be there in a few minutes.
Come, Paul, you can read the paper later. Good morning, darling.
Good morning, Julia. Good morning, Father.
Good morning.
Did you say 1 or 2 eggs? Paul.
Yes. As always I have said, Einstein theory thrown in doubt by new discovery.
Oh, Paul, no theories for breakfast, please. Did you call Mr. Orland?
Yes.
But this is very important, my dear.
That can come later, Paul. Is he coming down?
He isn't in his room. He wasn't home last time.
He wasn't home last night. Dear me. You don't suppose... Paul, Mr. Orland wasn't home last night.
Good. The theory of relativity as advanced by the eminent Dr. Einstein was rudely shaken by...
Paul, if you must read aloud, do read something that will interest us.
Very well, my dear. Fruitless search for clues in trunk murder. Prominent star is mentioned in Waverton divorce. Cab crashes in fog.
Oh, the Waverton divorce. What star was mentioned?
Isn't that young man's name Richard Orland?
Yes. What is it?
Would this be he? Young man identified as Richard Orland was injured last night when cab in which he was riding crashed into street light. He was taken to
St. Mark's Hospital. Just a moment, please.
Mr. Orland was removed from the hospital this morning.
Where have they taken him?
To number 3 Little Egbert Street.
Little Egbert Street.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Not at all.
He's better?
Yes, but he's in no condition to have visitors.
Oh, no, I didn't expect to see him. I just dropped by to ask about him. You'll tell him I was here, won't you?
Yes, I'll tell him. Someone's in the shop.
If you don't mind, I'll wait a minute. I wanted to ask about flowers.
All right, Emily. Would you be wanting something?
No, I was looking for someone, but I may have the wrong address.
Who might that be?
Richard Orland.
Oh,
They told me at the hospital they brought him here.
I see. Who are you?
Pauline Anders.
How do you do? I'm Clarissa.
Clarissa?
Oh, but you wouldn't know that, would you? I was Richard's nurse when he was little. And when he got hurt, I had him brought here.
Oh, this isn't his home.
Oh, no. No, he wouldn't be living here. Would you like to see him?
If I may. Is he badly hurt?
Oh, no. Just a little in the ribs. Nothing to worry about. It was nice of you to come to see him. But he said you was nice.
You glad that I'm here?
Well, of course, Emily.
I never thought you'd want to be seeing me again.
Why?
Well, if you hadn't met me on the bridge, the accident wouldn't have happened.
Don't be silly, Emily.
Oh, what's this? I thought you'd gone.
I wanted to see Richard.
Hello, Pauline.
Hello, Richard.
Thoughtful of you to come. How did you find out?
It was in the papers.
Emily, this is Miss Anders.
How do you do?
How do you do? I'm glad you weren't badly hurt.
Why, I can still take nourishment.
I won't stay.
Please do sit here.
Please sit down, Miss Anders. Emily was just going, wasn't you, Emily?
Yes.
If you'll excuse us. Come, dear.
I hope you're up and around soon, Richard. Very happy to have met you.
Thanks for dropping in, Emily.
Oh, that's all right.
Poor kid. She's never had much of a chance.
What a shame.
We've known each other ever since we were this high. I was brought up on this street, you know. In this very house, as a matter of fact.
I didn't know. Mrs. Clarissa, is it? She told me she was your nurse.
That's her way of putting it. I've always been with her. It was only recently I learned that she wasn't my mother. What you might call bad news. I'd rather she hadn't told me.
Why did she?
Oh, part of the bargain. People with something or other around town. Father died, mother embarrassed, that sort of thing. I wouldn't mind very much, except that it makes one feel sort of apart.
I know how you must feel. I'm sorry I was a little annoyed with you a while ago.
Are you annoyed? Why?
Because sometimes I'm inclined to be a trifle mean. But it's worn off.
I suppose any day we'll be hearing of him marrying off to someone like her. And then we'll be seeing no more of him. But I guess we got to expect that sort of thing, ain't we? Hello, Captain. I was just telling Emily here how interested Richard has become in that lovely Miss Anders.
Miss Anders, oh, yes.
And you know why, don't you? On account of me, that's why. She's afraid I might have her Richard. I know what you've been saying to him behind my back. Why should you care whether I have him or not? He ain't nothing to you. He ain't your son.
While you're here, I'll have your room cleaned out and throw out some of those old pictures.
You know, I might see something in them now I couldn't see before.
What?
Well, perhaps a suggestion of you.
I could think of something much more interesting to look at.
Tell me.
Me in person. You stupid man. I wouldn't stay here another minute.
Come again tomorrow, please.
Well,
Tomorrow, promise.
all right, tomorrow then.
Oh, you're not going so soon, Miss Anders.
I'm sorry, but I must.
Miss Anders, Captain Courtney.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Won't you stay for a bite of lunch?
No, thank you. But I'll come again if I may.
Oh, do.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Emily! Emily! May I drop you somewhere?
Oh, no, thank you. I'm not going very far.
Oh, but there's no need to walk. Won't you get in?
Thank you.
Mr. Orland was telling me something about you. You were children together, weren't you?
Well, we sort of grew up together. He used to walk out with me before he left Little Egbert Street.
You mean you were engaged?
We would have been if he hadn't gone off.
What do you do with your socks?
Wear them?
And how you wear them? Here's a pair of Richards. Not a hole in them. Look here.
What's a hole or two in a pair of socks? Gives them character. Hello, Richard. How are you getting along?
Finished, completed, done. Thank heaven.
Finished. The Song of Sixpence.
Song of Sixpence. One title's as good as another, I suppose, provided there's a play in back of it.
And that's the trouble.
Don't you like it?
I don't know. It comes to a sudden climax. I'm not sure that's good.
What happens to the boy?
What boy?
The boy that went to the new house and found his mother.
Oh, I lost that story in the shuffle. I couldn't find an ending to it.
Oh.
This play happens to be the one about the woman who marries a man, believing herself to be in love with an old sweetheart.
And what comes of it?
Well, she goes away with the sweetheart and then discovers it's the husband she really loves. Pretty ancient stuff.
It's an old formula, but it might do if well written.
Which this one probably isn't. However, I'd like to hear it read. Will you read Stevens in the climax, Captain? I'll do the butler.
Say, how about me acting the lady?
All right.
This should prove a lesson in histrionics.
Look here, you old walrus. I'll have you know that once I was one of the 40 geisha girls in the Saturday night production of The Mikado. Now, you read your part and I'll read mine.
I am properly squelched, my dear. On with the show, Richard.
Right, here goes. You're sitting down, Captain, reading a newspaper. Mum, you go into the shop and come in behind me when you hear the Captain say Margaret.
And say it so as I can hear it. And don't try to be funny.
Pardon, sir.
What is it, Briggs?
A lady, sir. She told me not to mention her name, but it's Mrs. Stevens, sir.
Margaret. Margaret!
Oh. Yes, John. Margaret.
But you may go, Briggs. I don't think I understand.
I said, dear, I don't think I understand.
Oh, Webbins, I'm so excited. Now, wait, hold on now. Where is it? How? But you do, John. It was I who never understood. But I understand now, everything. Where?
But what of Gary?
Oh, my turn? Oh, let me see. Oh, yes. I left him at the boat.
1,000 memories flashed through my mind. Little tender ones of quiet hours and intimate things. I couldn't do it, John. So I came home. And this is where I want to stay. If I may. If you want me.
I, too, have had memories, Margaret. Some that I'd like to live again.
Then let's start over. At the old beginning. Oh, it's splendid. Simply splendid. And you wrote this for me, dear, dear boy.
Like it?
Oh, it's grand. It's just like a play I did years ago.
What was the name of that? Oh, it doesn't matter. But it was a success.
But if it's so much like something that's been done before...
What of it? It's just the sort of thing the public would want to see me do. And it's so beautifully written. Oh, Pauline, what do you think?
Must I tell?
Richard's written me the most wonderful play. He's a genius, a positive genius.
I never suspected it. Who's going to produce this great masterpiece?
Why, Sir Elroy Joyce, of course. I'm going to telephone him immediately. Oh, I adore you for this, Richard. I can't wait to tell Sir Elroy. I'm so excited.
Well, she seemed to like it, didn't she?
Yes.
Bit of luck if Sir Elroy agrees to produce it.
Yes?
Yes. Rather a nice morning, isn't it?
Rather. I would have come to see you, but I couldn't, really.
That's all right.
It's so far over there, and I didn't think you cared whether I came or not particularly.
But I did.
Why should you?
Why should I feel that you're just about the nicest girl in the world?
You shouldn't.
But I do, and there it is. And what are we going to do about it?
Nothing.
It's the darlingest play I've ever read, and I'm sending it to you.
Well, Julia, I'm rather busy. I don't know when I could read it.
You must read it tonight, promise. And when will you talk with Richard about it?
We'll hear tomorrow at 10.
Tomorrow at 10? He'll be there.
Your play's nicely written. You have a flair for dialogue. Quite a bit of talent.
Thank you, sir.
But unfortunately, it's nothing I care to do at the moment.
Yes, but Julia Trent thought that...
Julia Trent's an actress. Actresses know nothing about plays. They see only the part. Some other producer might take a chance on it. I might myself if it were a less expensive production. But don't get discouraged. Glad to read anything you write, my boy. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, sir.
You sure you're not dead, Clarissa?
I ain't here to prove nothing.
You record enough blood pressure to burst the heart of an average man.
In that case, maybe it's the captain you should examine instead of me. Only, he ain't no average man.
No heavy foods.
You mean I ain't to eat nothing I like?
No wines. No liquors.
How about a good cigar now and then?
And no excitement of any kind. And these are orders.
All right. Give me my pills and I'll be off.
No pills this time, Clarissa. They wouldn't help.
I ate pills anyhow. They gagged me.
I'm serious. Clarissa, why don't you sell the shop and move out into the country?
What would I be doing in the country now?
At least you'd be quiet, and you'd have to rest. I don't know how you've held on this long.
I ain't ready to go yet. Not yet. Good night, Doctor.
Good night, Clarissa.
Well, Richard, I'm glad you dropped round. It's always a bit lonely here without the old girl.
Where is she?
She stepped out to see Dr. Phillips. Be back soon.
What's the matter with her?
Her stomach's been ragging her a bit lately. Hello, Mom.
Oh, hello. What are you doing here?
You've been to Dr. Phillips. You're not ill, are you?
What's the use of living in the West End if you're going to spend all your time over here?
Now, listen, I'll pop in whenever I want to. Don't forget I'm of age now.
With the amount of gassing you do, anybody'd think you was as old as the captain.
If I had chin whiskers, old girl, I'd say you were yanking them.
But seriously, Mom, are you all right?
Well, outside, of being somewhat dazed with the comical things that's being said around here, I'm in perfect health. Now, if you'll turn me loose, I'll take off my hat and coat. What about your play?
Oh, the play. Well, everything's going to be all right.
They don't like it.
Sir Elroy said I had a lot of talent.
But he didn't want to buy it.
What's the difference? I can write another.
But what's the matter with this one? I liked it. Didn't you, Captain?
Yes, I did. If I were a manager, I think I'd produce it.
So would Sir Elroy, if it weren't for the expense.
Oh, I see. Does it cost so much to put on a play now?
Yes. I'm afraid it does.
Oh.
just remembered something. Sorry to leave you for a bit, Richard. You and the captain have a spot of brandy and I'll be right back.
You're not going out again, are you?
Why not?
We've just come in.
So I comes and I goes. So, what about it?
I often wonder what goes on underneath those ridiculous hats of hers.
But you never painted anything that looked like anything before.
You're not repeating something you've heard.
But this seems to have a certain tenderness. You're not in love.
How do these things get around?
Is that young Richard Orland?
Is that so-and-so Richard Orland?
Whatever made you fall in love with him?
I think the law of supply and demand had something to do with it. Don't let's talk about him anymore.
Is it really that serious?
I'm painting a pastoral. That must indicate something. It's so silly. He would have to be an unsuccessful playwright. If he was someone important, I probably wouldn't have noticed him.
I don't see why you're so annoyed. If you love him, why don't you marry him?
He isn't available. Some funny little tilt-nose has first call. I shouldn't say that. She's a nice enough girl, I suppose, except I... Oh, Julia, what am I to do?
Forget him.
Why should I think twice about such an impossible man? I won't do it. There doesn't seem to be much else to think about. Julia, I'm really in a mess.
There, dear, I know how you feel. I loved someone when I was young, just as you love Richard. Then I married your father. After that, nothing mattered. There's a telephone. Answer it. It may be someone wanting money. Just say the check is in the post.
Hello. Who is this? Oh, hello. It's Sir Elwood.
I'm not sure that I want to talk to him. He's been a complete disappointment. I dislike you intensely. But you're like all managers, small, stupid, selfish. I can't imagine why you called me. What's that? Oh, you darling! You perfectly perfect darling! How lovely! Oh, I knew you wouldn't disappoint me. Of course! I'll be over within the hour. I'll bring him with me. Goodbye. He's reconsidered. He's going to produce Richard's play. Isn't it wonderful? Oh, well, aren't you happy?
No.
But think what it will mean to me and to Richard.
I am thinking of it. And if the play is a success, you'll never give him up.
Where are you going?
I'm going to be the one to tell him if I fall to pieces at his feet.
Well. Syke.
Yes.
What kind of wine are you serving?
It's the wine the captain ordered.
And what about the beef?
She'll be rare. You has my personal guarantee.
And the pudding?
Steaming hot, covered with brandy sauce.
The captain now. Did he select the brandy?
And there's a gentleman what knows his brandy. Here. Can I see it?
What now, Popjoy?
Here's the document, sealed, signed and delivered, to take effect from this day as agreed upon. Now, am I invited to this merry feast, or am I not?
How are you when you're in your beer, Popjoy?
The more beer I take, the more I become as I was in the beginning, silent.
All right, then, you're invited. But don't let me hear you talking.
Mum's the word.
Out of the way now, what are you doing?
How much? $2, sir. There, I'll keep.
He's coming.
Get ready, everybody. He's coming.
Oh, but why the pub? I'd much rather have dinner at home.
Oh, you know how the old girl is. This is something of an event, and she fancies it calls for a bit of a celebration.
We wishes to drink to your blooming success tonight, Richard. Of course, having bought tickets to it, we wants to see something for our money.
It's nice of you, every one of you, to turn out like this. And I want to promise you I'll do all I can to merit your good wishes.
Richard, don't you seem worried about something?
What's nerves? Opening night of his first play, something of a strain, you know.
It ain't that. You get them around the table and start things. Hurry on now.
All right, dear.
Mom, you shouldn't have done this.
Oh, tonight I wanted a party in honor of a young man what I brought up from an infant, and here it is.
But I would much rather have had a quiet dinner at home, just you, the captain, and I.
It ain't the party. What's upsetting you? It's something else.
What could upset me? My first play opens tonight. I'm on my way to success. The world's mine, isn't it?
Is it?
I reserved you 3 seats. Why do you prefer sitting in the gallery?
Up in the gardens is where you find out what's what about a play.
But it's much nicer. In the stalls.
Something's wrong, Richard.
You can see and hear much better. Oh, Mum, I told you nothing's wrong.
I just thought there might be. Miss Anders, she'll be there, won't she?
Yes, she'll be there.
You're fond of her, Richard.
Yes.
Have you told her?
How can I tell her?
Why not? You're going to be a success. She's one of your kind.
You're forgetting something, aren't you?
You mean because... But if she loves you, it couldn't make any difference.
How can I ask her to take my name when I haven't got a name? I couldn't do it, Mum. Oh, well, it's all right.
Only it ain't. Is it?
How much is that?
2 and 9, sir. 10 bob. I don't think I've got any change.
I got change, Richard. That's all right, Captain.
Did you see Richard's diamond electric lights as we drove up?
Yes, I saw it.
You don't seem to be very happy about his success. You didn't say 2 words coming in the cab.
I have nothing to say.
Will you wait here, Mum? I'll get the tickets.
It's real nice going to a play when you're guests of the author, ain't it? Look at all the people with their fine clothes and elegant manners. Makes a person feel sort of out of place, don't it, Emily?
I'll join you later. Do you mind going in alone?
You're tickled to death.
Thanks.
Don't be long, Richard.
I will. I'll see you later. Well, here we are. Ready?
I am, dear.
Your arm, my lord.
With pleasure, Princess. And these are the golden stairs, Princess.
And they say paradise is at the top, my lord.
We're hoping it is.
It is. Your play's going to be a great success, Richard.
You're very sure of it, aren't you?
There's no fooling me about plays. I've seen too many of them. Do you remember when you was a wee chappie, how we used to climb these very stairs?
We never missed the play, did we?
It was fun when you were small. But you was always wanting to go someplace during the best part.
I must have been a little nuisance.
No, just a little boy. But never a nuisance. At the moment.
What is it?
Nothing. Maybe I had a mite too much to eat. But with the champagne and the pudding. There. Do you remember what you used to call food when you were small?
What?
Scoffing.
No, did I?
Maybe that didn't raise the captain's eyebrows.
I should imagine it did. Good old Captain. What's the matter, Mom?
Nothing. I was just thinking
What about?
about the good old captain.
It's the stairs. They're too much for you.
No, they ain't.
Yes, they are. I should have made you sit in the stalls. Well, hold on a minute.
Now, Richard, put me down.
Now, you carried me about when I was young. It's my turn now. What have you got to say about that?
Oh, James. Now, Richard, put me down. There.
Come on, up out of it. Can't you see you're in the wrong street?
Ah, go on, I've been here 20 minutes.
Well, can't you see the reserve? Take another seat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You better take the inside seat, Emily, dear.
Hello, Richard.
Hello, Richard. Good luck tonight. Richard, all right. It's all right.
It's about time for the curtain. I'll run along. I hope you like it.
Hey, you with a feather in your hat. Sit down.
Sit down yourself.
I'll see you after the last act.
Richard, I just wanted to say, I hope your play does well.
We all do, my boy.
Will you sit down in front?
Richard.
Hey, feathers. Off with the bonnet.
Now, come on down here and take it off if you can, you old gas bag.
Running off with that curly-headed fella.
Why not, says I.
She's a nutty.
Shut up.
It's a good play, ain't it, Emily?
I'd like it even if it wasn't good.
Because Richard wrote it, eh?
Yes.
You think I don't like you because I don't want you to have Richard. That ain't so, Emily. I do like you. Only, there's Richard where he belongs with Miss Anders. She's the reason why you can't ever have him.
Just in time, dear.
Now we'll see. Hold my hand, Captain.
Memories flash through my mind, little tender ones, of quiet hours and intimate things. And I couldn't do it, John. So I came home. And this is where I want to stay, if I may. If you want.
I, too, have had memories, Margaret. Ones that I'd like to live again.
Then let's start over from the old beginning.
I'm afraid I'm too nervous and excited to say very much. Except that I'm glad you liked it. It probably wouldn't have amounted to very much without the magnificent performance of Miss Julia Trent. And I want to thank her publicly for making my play possible. It was her interest and influence that decided Sir Elroy to stage the production. Thank you.
lovely. No, you're really the credit's all yours, darling. What would any of us have done without your play? Isn't that so, Elroy?
Quite true. Well, I can't believe that, but anyhow, thanks a lot.
Oh, and now we should have a lovely supper on the stage. We always did in the old days.
Patience, Julia. I've sent for the caterers. We'll have a bit of a celebration in honor of our star and author.
Oh, you darling. I knew you wouldn't forget. And now I must hurry and change. Come along, Elroy. Goodbye, darling. Come on, Paul.
You surprised me, Julia. You were good.
Marvelous. Well, you're a success now.
Success is the achievement of what you want most, isn't it?
I think so.
Writing a play, isn't it?
What then?
Pauline, I want to tell you something. It's difficult to explain, but I want you to try and understand.
Richard,
Hello, Emily.
Clarissa's been taken.
Clarissa?
In the gallery. She collapsed.
Where is she?
They took her home.
Thank. All right. Sorry.
Is it serious?
Who knows? They told me to get Richard.
Oh.
You're fond of him, ain't you?
Yes, but
Well, he'll be needing you. You're better for him than I'd be, even if he'd have me, which he wouldn't. He loves you. Clarissa told me.
Yeah, what's all this noise about? She ain't here.
Where is she?
She's at number 16. Here, I bought the shop. Here, what's your hurry? I got some...
Captain, where is she?
Steady, boy. She's quite ill.
Mom.
Richard.
Yes, Mom.
I lied to you. I am your mom.
I never wanted it to be any other way.
You vowed it against me. I did it because I wanted you to have quality. And you have, Richard. You have.
She believed herself to be a very ordinary woman, and she was anything but that. She had one purpose, to give you the opportunities that she had missed. She willed herself to live until that had been accomplished. When she made her goal, she relaxed. She let go and... I wish she could have held on for just a little longer. She sold the store to get money to produce your play because she believed in you. She overlooked nothing, not even in the matter of rewards. Mine is a little place in the country with a garden and a tree or two. It would have been very pleasant if she and I could have taken the last few hurdles together in some such place. It doesn't seem to hold so much for me now.